The cultivation world is filled with diverse techniques and vastly different effects. Some techniques focus on rapid advancement in cultivation level, while others emphasize the refinement of supernatural powers and magical strength. Still others are special techniques that cultivate the soul and enhance spiritual awareness. Han Li's cultivation method, the Great Evolution Technique, is an extremely unique and heaven-defying technique that allows cultivators in the core formation stage to possess spiritual awareness comparable to that of the nascent soul stage. However, despite its astonishing power, few in the cultivation world practice this technique. There are many complex reasons behind this, worthy of in-depth exploration. Firstly, regarding the nature of the technique, while the Great Evolution Technique boasts remarkable effects, its essence belongs to the main cultivation level, focusing solely on enhancing spiritual awareness and failing to directly elevate a cultivator's cultivation realm. In the cultivation world, most cultivators prioritize techniques that directly improve their cultivation level. After all, cultivation is fundamental to cultivation, and breakthroughs in realm are often accompanied by a comprehensive increase in magical power, spiritual awareness, and even lifespan. Under normal circumstances, for every major realm advancement in cultivation, the strength of a cultivator's spiritual awareness naturally increases accordingly. Therefore, for cultivators with limited resources and an urgent need to break through bottlenecks, spending a great deal of time and energy specializing in a technique that only strengthens spiritual sense but does not contribute to cultivation level is often considered a losing proposition. Only those cultivators with relatively fast cultivation speed, abundant resources, and no rush to break through their current realm might consider concurrently cultivating or switching to the Great Evolution Technique in order to gain an overwhelming advantage in spiritual sense among cultivators of the same level and enhance their overall combat power. Even so, this choice remains rare in the cultivation world, as cultivation level is the foundation of everything. Secondly, the Great Evolution Technique places extremely strict requirements on the cultivator's talent and temperament. Cultivating this technique not only requires innate strong potential in spiritual sense but also demands a resolute will and the ability to endure the long and tedious process of spiritual sense tempering. While Han Li's spiritual root aptitude was only average, even somewhat subpar, in the cultivation world, his talent in spiritual sense was exceptional. Coupled with his calm demeanor and extraordinary perseverance, this allowed him to endure the hardships of cultivating the Great Evolution Technique, gradually refining his spiritual sense to a level far exceeding that of his peers. Conversely, many cultivators, though perhaps making significant progress in spiritual power cultivation, may lack a sufficiently strong foundation in spiritual sense or the matching mental conditions. Forcing themselves to cultivate such a technique focused solely on spiritual sense could easily lead to diminishing returns, or even backlash against their minds, hindering their cultivation. Therefore, the dual barriers of talent and mental fortitude naturally filter out the vast majority of potential cultivators. Furthermore, considering the technique's origin and distribution, the Great Evolution Technique has extremely low visibility and limited circulation, another significant reason for its scarcity of practitioners. This technique originates from the Great Evolution Divine Lord, who, despite his immense power, primarily operates within the region known as the Far West. Legend has it that after achieving the late-stage nascent soul realm, the Great Evolution Divine Lord single-handedly defeated the foremost cultivator of both the righteous and demonic paths in the southern heaven, forcing the opponent to swear an oath to withdraw from the Far West and claim it as his sphere of influence. Subsequently, the Great Evolution Divine Lord founded the Thousand Bamboo sect in the Far West, and the Great Evolution Technique was a unique cultivation method he gradually created and perfected after the sect's founding. This technique has always been regarded as the core inheritance of the Thousand Bamboo sect and has never been made public. Even within the sect, only high-ranking members are qualified to cultivate the first 3 levels, and the more advanced parts beyond the 3rd level are only passed down to the sect leader and the designated successor. Therefore, the outside world's understanding of the Great Evolution Technique is extremely limited, and a truly complete version has almost never circulated outside the southern heaven. Furthermore, between the Far West and the southern heaven lies a vast, boundless desert stretching for countless miles. This desert is no ordinary place. Fierce hurricanes constantly rage above it. These gales are extremely hostile to cultivators. Reckless flight across it would quickly deplete a cultivator's magical power and even endanger their lives. Therefore, travel between the two regions is mostly limited to trekking on foot, a long and perilous journey. This geographical isolation makes the exchange of cultivation resources and techniques between the two regions extremely difficult, severely restricting the spread of the Dian due to the Tianan region. Even when fragments of the technique occasionally flowed into Qiannan, they were mostly simplified or incomplete versions, failing to reveal the true essence of the original technique. Han Li's initial acquisition of the Dianju was by chance, obtained by his master Lei Wanhe during his core formation stage after killing a traitorous disciple of the Thousand Bamboo sect. It was only a fragment, containing only the first few layers. It wasn't until Han Li, after condensing his nascent soul, traveled to the far west and encountered the remnant soul of the Great Evolution Divine Lord, attached to a puppet and on the verge of dissipation, that he fortuitously obtained the remaining techniques, completing this inheritance. Such a tortuous and rare acquisition experience precisely illustrates how low the circulation of the Great Evolution technique is in the cultivation world. In conclusion, the reason why so few people cultivate the Great Evolution technique is not because its effects are ineffective, but rather due to the combined effects of multiple factors, including its unique characteristics, high cultivation threshold, closed transmission, and geographical isolation. In the cultivation world, where cultivation level is fundamental and strength improvement is prioritized, a technique that does not directly increase cultivation, demands extremely high talent and temperament, and is extremely difficult to obtain a complete inheritance from, naturally makes it difficult for it to become a popular choice for cultivation. However, it is precisely this scarcity and peculiarity that, in turn, highlights the extraordinary value of the Great Evolution technique and the preciousness of Han Li's opportunity and perseverance in cultivating it to its full potential. On the long path of immortality, while the strength of a technique is important, whether it matches the cultivator, and whether one obtains it at the right time and persists in practicing it, may be the true key to determining whether a lineage can truly shine.